the Bandwagon. You guys are awesome, man.
Hey, this is Zach Davies of the Milwaukee Brewers, and you're listening to the Bandwagon.
Hey, this is David Gross, soon to be the commissioner of the Bandwagon. You are listening to the Bandwagon. Yeah, baby.
In today's episode of the Bandwagon.
You know, he would like almost throw down those slam dunks that he actually didn't end up throwing down, but everyone was like, holy crap, that's awesome.
Oh, you mean the ones that they called a dunk that weren't ever dunks?
Right, because his hand like barely hit the rim, but he would just like chuck the ball into the hoop and it went in and it looked kind of cool. Yeah.
That always got on my nerves.
That was like peak Blake Griffin.
Milwaukee Brewers pitcher Zach Davies joins the show to discuss the Brewers' recent acquisitions.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, it's kind of a thing where the front office is showing that they believe in the team, and they just need to add a couple pieces that they think are going to create a winning team.
Major League Lacrosse Commissioner David Gross joins the show.
Oh, well, I don't like the content of the song where you talk about Victor hating Tom Brady, because I'm sure deep down Victor loves Tom Brady.
Oh, he's my favorite.
Let's get to it.
He rocks in the treetop all the day long, hopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet, rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet. Go rockin' Robin, 'cause we really gonna rock 'em tonight.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today is Tuesday, January 30th, 2018. Thank you so much for tuning into today's edition of the Bandwagon. Great show for you today as Milwaukee Brewers pitcher Zach Davies and Major League Lacrosse Commissioner David Gross enter the wagon. From a university in the middle of Wisconsin, my name is Alex Strouf. You can find me on Twitter at Alex_Strouf, STROUF. Joining me as always from the University of North Carolina podcast lab that makes it sound so professional. My right-hand man, my partner in crime, Mr. Victor Hensley. You can find Vic on Twitter at FreeZeal, FREZEAL33. For Zeal33 on Twitter, Mr. Victor.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a great day to be alive.
To be a Tar Heel.
To be a pointer.
Well, GTT Bath.
GTBAP.
Yeah, no.
GDTBAP.
I can't even talk about how good it is to be a Tar Heel right now because we've lost 2 games in a row in basketball.
Nice.
One to Virginia Tech. I mean, come on. Who loses to Virginia Tech? You could go out there and play basketball and do better than we did against Virginia Tech.
Wow.
So,
You sound pleased.
And you're not even good at basketball. That's the thing. That's the sad part.
You know, you're kind of just rude today. You're not in a good mood.
I'm in a great mood. What you mean? A fantastic mood. Having a great day. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Great show. I'm excited about the show. I got to talk to Zach Davies, the Brewers. Go Brew Crew.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I didn't know you had to talk to him.
Pretty sure I have a Brewer shirt on right now. Let's take a look. For all of you watching closely on YouTube. Oh, no, Timber Rattlers.
Not the same thing. Not the same thing at all.
Single A affiliate.
But that's not the same. Was Zach Davies in that affiliate? No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. He was with the Orioles.
Right. Go O's. We have some big news in the NBA going on.
Yeah, I was just about to say, let's talk NBA. So Blake
Griffin,
a part of a trade to the Detroit Pistons, Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, and a name I can't say, along with 2 draft picks, going to Los Angeles just for Blake Griffin. Wow.
I didn't expect that at all. I was just eating dinner. I was just chilling, dude. I was hanging out, eating some dinner, eating some mashed potatoes, man, and all of a sudden I get this notification on my phone that says Blake Griffin's been traded to Detroit for Tobias Harris and Avery Bradley and all the rest of them. This is insane, dude.
This was a bad trade.
For who?
L.A.
100%.
For Detroit.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah. 100% Detroit.
Good trade for L.A.
Great. That's a fantastic return on their investment. Here's the thing. Obviously, so people, I just saw that Matt Barnes from the Clippers
wasn't happy with the Clippers.
He wasn't happy with the Clippers. He said it's all Doc Rivers' fault, all this stuff. Here's the thing, is obviously this team wasn't going anywhere. They had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan forever, never did anything. So they got rid of Chris Paul.
And they should have, which is the sad thing. They should have.
I agree. It's kind of like the Thunder with Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook.
Well, at least they had finals.
Well, they didn't win the finals. I mean, with that talent, you should win the finals. anyway, they had so much talent on that team, and then all of a sudden, they just couldn't get it together, right? So they got rid of Chris Paul. Now they're like, obviously, this team ain't going anywhere either. They're not bad, but they're not gonna win anything with this team. So they're like, all right, bang, Blake Griffin's gone. Here's the thing: both trades, if you remember the Chris Paul trade, that was an amazing trade for them. I think I came on the show the day after, and you were kind of freaking out on me about it because I was saying that LA won the trade because they got tons of players. They got Lou Will. They got some good players.
Sam Decker. Shout out to Sam
They got
Decker.
Sam Decker. Exactly. That's all you need, Sam Decker. So, I think in both trades, in both instances, they've done well. Like they're not getting scrubs back, which is good.
Right.
And then obviously the first and second round draft picks. I mean that's a big deal too. So I don't know. I think that's a great trade for LA. Detroit not so much. I mean, what are you really going to get out of Blake Griffin?
Right, and I was
Detroit.
explaining this earlier during another time slot, and Blake Griffin was really good in like 2011. He would like almost throw down those slam dunks that he actually didn't end up throwing down, but everyone was like, "Holy crap, that's awesome!"
Oh, you mean the ones that they called a dunk that weren't ever dunks?
Right, because his
The one
hand
where he
like
just
barely hit the
threw it
rim,
in?
but he would just like
Yeah.
chuck the ball into the hoop and it went in, and it looked kind of cool. Yeah,
That always got on my nerves,
That was
man.
like peak Blake Griffin. Then we had, didn't he get punched in the face or punch somebody in the face, and then he got injured like 174 times.
Yeah.
You have an injury-prone and power forward, and you're getting a starting power forward and a starting guard in return, along with 2 draft picks.
I mean, you can't really complain about that.
The Clippers,
I mean, one of the best
Pistons
defensive
got
guards.
screwed, and they're in like a
100%.
win now mode, and Blake Griffin isn't the way to win now. Don't get me wrong, good power forward, going to be a top power forward in the Eastern Conference when he's healthy, which isn't much.
But you need talent around you to be able to do anything. The Clippers
Right.
have a little bit of that talent, but like Blake Griffin by himself is not going to do much. I mean, obviously you got DeAndre Jordan there, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like they got a good return on their investment because it's like we're not going to do anything with this dude pretty much essentially by himself. So go ahead and scrap him and get a couple more dudes. Now apparently they're also looking to trade both DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
what I just heard.
Get some younger talent.
I mean, I think you could definitely get a draft pick for DeAndre. You could probably get a good little package for DeAndre Jordan. So I don't know.
You
I
get
think
something
it's
for
gonna
Lou
be
Will. I mean,
interesting,
Lou Will
100%.
Lou Will thought he was an all-star caliber player this year, and you know what? Really, he was. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say he's a snub just because of how good the Western Conference is, but if he was in the Eastern Conference, he probably would have been an
He
all-star.
probably would have made it.
Yeah.
Probably. He just dropped 50-something the other week, right?
Yeah, Lou
I was 50.
Will's had a good year. So has Devin
he's-
Booker,
right.
another guy that was potentially snubbed in the Western Conference. That's beside the point. I imagine they're probably going to go out there and try to package some sort of deals for both of these guys, and you're going to get some good stuff in return. The Clippers are looking for the future, while the Pistons are in a win-now mode, and I don't understand that theory at all. But
They're not going to win now. I mean, they're not bad, but what are they going to win? Like Reggie Jackson, Andre Drummond, and Blake Griffin. Like, what are these guys going to win? I mean, no offense to them.
first-round playoff game, maybe? I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe.
Maybe they'll make the playoffs.
They'll definitely make it. I don't know what seed they are exactly in the East right now, if they are in the playoff picture at all. But, I mean, I think with that team, you could definitely make it. Although Tobias Harris was playing fantastically this season.
I
mean, he was in contention for an all-star spot.
Right.
He obviously didn't make it. But, I mean, so they just traded away a potential all-star for another former all-star, essentially. Yeah. So, it's tough. I don't know what Detroit's really thinking about. But the thing about L.A. is now with the trades they've made and the pieces they've acquired and what they could potentially acquire if they trade DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams is they've got a team that's younger and it's not bad.
Right.
Like this is not them going into all-out rebuild mode. This is not Miami Marlins. Like this is them acquiring a little bit. Tobias Harris. That's a nice little building piece. If they keep Lou Will, that's a nice little building block as well. And I feel like if they use these draft picks to their advantage, they're still going to be all right. They're not going to be Western Conference champions anytime soon. But I think the way they're going about it is the way a lot of other teams should go about it. Because there's other teams who just legit just want to throw everything away for whatever reason and then end up being in like an Orlando Magic, Brooklyn Nets type of thing where they're never going to get out of this hole.
Yeah.
It's going to take forever. That's not gonna be the Clippers.
Yeah, so both these teams, the 9 seed in their respective conferences, both one spot out of a playoff spot, and I don't know if either of them will even make it. So it's a very interesting trade that I really didn't understand. Good trade for the Clippers, not so much for the Pistons in both of our opinions. Let's move on to baseball now. We're going to bring in Brewers starting pitcher Zach Davies, number 27 on the mound, number 1 in my bobblehead in my car's heart, who doesn't have a head, and we'll get into that one.
Headless bobblehead.
Headless bobblehead. Hopefully it's not a voodoo doll. Let's bring in now Milwaukee Brewers pitcher Zach Davies. We are joined now by Milwaukee Brewers pitcher number 27, Zach Davies, is joining us today on the bandwagon. Zach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I guess let's start recently, because it's been, as we mentioned off the air, pretty crazy week for you. Brewers Fan Fest was on Sunday. You mentioned on Twitter that it made you that much more excited to get back onto the field. So is it pretty awesome to have a kickoff event like that where you can connect with the fans?
It is. It's awesome to see the fans in a different light and get to be a little bit more personal and up close to them, and just kind of, at least this past weekend, hear the buzz and excitement that the city has right now.
So let's recap this crazy last week as a Brewer. I mean, let's start with the trade of Christian Yelich. Obviously, you were excited. Pretty awesome move, I assume, from the opinion of Zach Davies.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's kind of a thing where the front office is showing that they believe in the team, and they just need to add a couple pieces that they think are going to create a winning team. And so I know last year at the deadline we were kind of waiting for a move to happen and see how we were going to do, and they had a little bit different vision, and we just missed playoffs, but they're in it for the long haul, so you can see what they wanted to do.
And so after you guys acquired Christian, you tweeted that you broke your phone. You were so excited you broke your phone. Can you give us a little bit of a play-by-play of what exactly happened? And did you get a new phone? Is everything okay with that?
Yeah, it's all good now. I didn't break it completely. I cracked the screen going to my workout, just stepping out of the car, scrolling through Twitter and the news feed and seeing the news. And as soon as I stepped out of the car, I dropped the phone and ended up cracking the screen. But I got that replaced, and everything's good now. Look
at that. So we're all good. We're all fixed up. But let's get back to baseball, Zach. Lorenzo Cain signed as well this over the weekend. You've got to be pretty darn happy with the pieces they're putting behind you, as you mentioned.
Yeah, these are some great defensive guys, and they also bring a pretty great bat to the lineup, and it's starting to shape up into a full around team. And they're great dudes. We got to meet them this past weekend, and they're great people too. So it's fun to be around. They have a good time, and can't wait for spring to start when everybody kind of mingles in the clubhouse and starts to get to know each other even more.
And you guys actually just signed Matt Albers, also the relief pitcher Matt Albers. So how excited are you also to kind of revamp the pitching staff a little bit? I mean, you're making all these moves. So do you feel like you guys have a chance with signing Albers, Cain, Yelich, all those guys?
Of course. We always believe in everybody in the clubhouse. So even if the moves hadn't been made, I know that everybody would look left and right and still believe in the next person. But the team is making moves and trying to put themselves in a winning atmosphere and into contention. So it's something exciting for everybody. I know the fans have been waiting, and the players are just as excited as the fans are.
I'm happy to hear that because I'm pretty damn excited, Zach, not going to lie to you. But I want to talk about David Stearns. I mean, this guy, what is he, 32 or 33 years old now? He's just making moves aggressively. He's making moves left and right. I mean, you've played under him as your GM the last couple of years. Can you just touch on David Stearns, the type of guy he is, and what it's like playing with him as your GM?
Yeah, he's a good dude. He comes into the clubhouse and hangs out with us for a little bit every week, and a little quiet, a little shy at times. But once you started getting to know the guys and realize that this is his job and then this is his team to control, then he's getting more comfortable and is able to open up with us. But he's incredibly smart. He's made a lot of great moves, and he's got a plan. You can see it. He's got lots of things going on, and if this doesn't work, then we're going to go with this. And he's prepared for this for sure.
And speaking of preparation, I mean, I mentioned David Stearns. You mentioned that last year was obviously quite a surprising and a solid year for the Brewers. So I know you and I probably both have a biased opinion, but is it safe to say the Brewers are really starting and are really ready to make some noise this year?
I think so. I think it's for real. I think last year wasn't just a fluke, and especially with the new additions to the team, it's just going to bolster the lineup and pitching staff on both relieving and starter side. So, you know, I think it's going to be a little bit different year for us.
And I don't know how big of a deal it is for you to start on opening day, but if you were to get to start on opening day, I kind of want to hear, you know, what is your pitch for why you should be the opening day starter for the Milwaukee Brewers?
You know, I go out there and compete. I'm going to go out there and every time have the same attitude, have the same mentality to compete as much as I can in that game. And I just try and show exactly what the rest of the team has, that everybody's going to fight until the last pitch of the game. And, you know, I may not have the best stuff, I may not have the best velo, but at the same time, I know every pitcher on our staff is going to go out there and compete.
So, Zach, when you talk about you going out there to compete, I really hope you can do that because I have a quick story for you. I have one of your bobblehead that was given out at Miller Park this past summer with the 4th of July unis or whatever. But I just realized like a couple weeks ago, your head's gone. It's just gone. I don't know where it is. I can't find it. So I'm really hoping it's not like a voodoo doll thing. So in advance, if for some reason you just get decapitated, I really am sorry.
I'll keep that in mind and make sure I'm watching my back.
Awesome. So final one before we move into some fan questions that we gathered. Just a quick trivia question for you. What overall pick were you in the 2011 draft?
I believe I was 785.
Well done. I'm impressed.
Ooh, nice. So I just have a quick question. How is it, you know, with the MLB draft being so long, what's it like waiting so long for your name to be called?
My story, I never figured to be picked on that first day, those first 2 rounds, barring any crazy thing happening. But second day, I waited around pretty much all day, and I didn't really know what was going to happen. So I don't even remember how it worked, if it was the second day or third day anymore. But I went out and golfed, and I got a call from my area scout from the Orioles, and he said that they had selected me with the 785th pick, and so I really wasn't even paying attention to it after that, just because I didn't know if it was even going to happen.
You know, I'm going to slip one more question before we get to the fan questions. I want to ask about being traded, and you were traded as a minor league guy, soon thereafter no longer a minor league guy, but. What's that like? I mean, you had to pack all your things up from Baltimore, bring them to Milwaukee. Can you just touch on, you know, I imagine it's very, very hectic and scary and interesting and so many different words.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit different, a little bit overwhelming, just because everything's a rush. I mean, they want you to get to the team as soon as possible and keep on with your routine. So I ended up getting a call from Melvin that day when I got traded, or when they had traded for me, and said that we're going to start you out at Colorado Springs, and we're seeing what moves that we need to make, but hopefully have you up in September. So I kind of had an idea of possibly getting a call up that year, but the travel and the kind of changing of teams was a little bit overwhelming at times.
So I want to move into some of the fan questions we received. We had people on both Facebook and Reddit just ask questions that they want to hear from Zach Davies. So you led me into a pretty good transition, Zach. Good job. You're made for broadcast. Was that somebody wants to know the transition from the minors to the majors? What was that like for you?
For me, I came to the perfect team. You know, it was a great group of guys. They had fun. They had a little bit of the rookie stuff going on, but at the same time, you're part of the team. They were trying to help you out. Any questions that you had, I know Ryan was the first guy that came up to me in the clubhouse and said, "Hey, I'm Ryan, and you know, if you need anything, let me know." So it was just a great group coming up, and I was fortunate enough to be with this group and start to see all the changes that were made.
So now that you're a big time, you know, major league pitcher, do you have a favorite or a least favorite park to pitch in?
Let's see. A lot of them are hitters' parks. The ball seems to fly. But, you know, Cincinnati's a short porch if you leave the ball up, and the ball can start flying there. So that's probably one of my least favorite, just because hitters have a good time there.
What's it like in Miller? I mean, I know every time I go down to a game, it seems like I'm seeing 4 or 5 home runs. So, I mean, in a sense, I mean, obviously it's a nice park, but as a pitcher, is that probably isn't your absolute favorite, I imagine.
You know, I don't have an issue with it. You know, if you keep the ball down, you're not going to have a problem. Sometimes it's going to happen, but you know, it's our home crowd, it's our home team, so pitching at home is always something that I enjoy. Usually a great crowd out there, and I tend to like Miller Park compared to other teams that come in.
Good PC answer. Just do your job well, and you'll like it, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could be said for pretty much every ballpark, but
fair enough.
You know, I love pitching at home.
Good stuff. So another question we got. This one says, "What do you think overall of Wisconsin?" Luckily, you're not here too much in the winter, but overall, what are your thoughts? Do you have some favorite spots in the state, or what are your thoughts of Wisconsin?
I haven't been able to explore the entire state. We don't get too much time off. I am thankful that I'm not there for winter, because I don't think you can beat Arizona winters. But, you know, Milwaukee's great. You got a big city feel with it's not so crowded, a little more friendly, and it's fun to be downtown and see all the people there. Some great food, some great places to be in downtown, and I stayed on the lake last year, so it was a pretty cool experience for us.
And you mentioned how you don't really get a lot of time off. So just this is a quick question on my part is, how is it as a baseball player? Obviously, you're a starting pitcher, so you don't play every single day. But how is it having to pretty much travel all the time? You're playing almost every single day. You know, what's that like? How taxing is that?
You know, they try and make it as easy as possible. We have our own plane. You get your chartered plane, so traveling's a lot easier. We leave on our own time and don't have to go through the entire airport and staying at nice hotels, and the accommodations are great, so they try and make that as easy as possible. But you know, there are times during the year where you're a little bit worn out. You got to battle through it. You got to fight through it. And, you know, your body's going to kind of recover, and you're going to feel better in the next couple of weeks. But there are ups and downs every season with traveling and with how your body feels.
And obviously, this week is Super Bowl week. You know, you're part of our Super Bowl 52 coverage, even though you're not in the NFL. So we just want to ask, who's your favorite football team?
I was born in Washington State, so Seattle Seahawks are my favorite.
You know, people in Wisconsin are really going to hate that. Like I thought maybe it'd say Cardinals because you're out in Arizona or whoever else. But you know, Seahawks. It goes like the least you could have said or the worst you could have said would have been the Bears, and then the Seahawks are right around there. So, but
yeah, Seahawks are close to it.
At least you're not a Bears fan, I guess. And my next question, staying with the Wisconsinite trend: brat or hot dog?
You know, I haven't had good brats outside of the state, so when I'm outside of Wisconsin, it's hot dog. When I'm there, it's brat.
Good answer.
And, you know, we always want to ask, questions about your teammates a little bit. So who is your best friend on the team?
You know, my locker mate's Travis Shaw, so I get along with him really well, and always hanging out and talking in the clubhouse, and so I would say Shaw. You
got any good Shaw stories?
Always hitting stories. He loved the fact that we were in Atlanta, scoring quite a few runs, and took a 3-0 pitch that he was thinking he wasn't even going to swing at, and he probably hit the farthest home run of his career on it.
Now, Zach, we appreciate your time. I got one final question with you. Vic mentioned that you're part of our Super Bowl coverage, so I got to ask. I don't know how much football you even watch, but who's your Super Bowl pick this Sunday?
I want to go with the upset. I got the Eagles.
Wow, that's the second. We've had 2 picks so far, and they've both taken the Eagles. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brewers pitcher Zach Davies. Zach, we appreciate your time. Best of luck this season. I know I'll be cheering for you with my headless bobblehead.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate having me on.
Take care.
Zachary Davies.
Thanks again to Zach Davies for joining us today on the Bandwagon. Go Brewers!
Go Brew Crew.
Go Brew Crew, baby. All right, well, anyway.
What are you doing?
Just out here grinding, brother. Well, before we jump into MLL Commissioner, soon to be the Bandwagon Commissioner, David Gross, I want to tell you guys about Lyft. Lyft, the taxi service that you get on your mobile device. If you're looking to maybe get a couple extra dollars this Super Bowl Sunday or Super Bowl weekend, you can sign up to be a driver with Lyft by using the promo code BANDPOD. That's BANDPOD, BANDPOD. Or if you're looking to get $5 off of your ride, either there or from there, or both, or one or the other, I don't know. Use promo code BANDPOD for $5 off your ride. BANDPOD on Lyft. That's LYFT. Lyft, the taxi service, I guess, thing.
It's better than Uber. Scorching hot take.
Not scorching hot. It's facts. So BANDPOD, promo code, if you're looking to make some extra money, or if you're trying to get some money off, a couple extra drinks at the bar, $5 off your ride using BANDPOD, BANDPOD with Lyft. Let's jump into David Gross. We are joined now by our dear friend, the soon-to-be Commissioner of the Bandwagon, recurring guest, great guy, the Commissioner of the Major League Lacrosse, I guess is his current title. I should probably say that. His name is David Gross. David, thanks again for joining us.
Guys, always a pleasure to be on with you.
So, David, let's start with what's going on. You said you were done after the 2017 season. Are you still the acting commissioner of the MLL?
2 more days. 2 more days.
days.
2 more days. I signed some checks on February 1, and then I get to walk away. And we have a new person coming in. He'll start a week from tomorrow, and league's in good hands.
Oh wow, this is insane. I thought you would be the commissioner forever. I didn't think they'd ever find a replacement. It's hard to replace David Gross.
Not that hard. Not that hard.
I don't believe that. I think you're lying to us.
I saw your guys' proposition where you get the two of you come in, and if we hadn't already hired someone, I would have promoted that.
Oh. Okay, okay.
See,
here's the thing,
should we
David.
just jump into that?
Yeah, we're jumping into it because I don't know if you got our email. We sent you a little proposal before the interview. And I guess if you're leaving the office in 2 days, we have one last chance to sway you to make us the co-commissioners of the MLL. So Alex, you want to kick off the presentation?
Yeah, so first off, we started with the title slide. I use nice colors. High school taught me how to make presentations good or well. I don't know which word I'm supposed to use there. They didn't teach me English, but they taught me how to do presentations. So I did the nice color scheme, nice little stock photo of a presentation. Then I jumped into our mission, David. And I'm sure you saw the great Photoshop I did. Put my face on yours.
I was impressed. I'm impressed by this stuff.
I made my head about 30 times bigger than yours was in that picture. But I thought it turned out nice. So obviously our mission, to become co-commissioners of Major League Lacrosse and to succeed and become better. Now, that's going to be hard to do, as we said. Then our dear friend, David A. ? We're not sure what your middle initial is. We'll get to that in a second.
I don't have one, guys.
Whoa.
My parents didn't no, this has been a sore point my entire life. My parents did not give me a middle initial.
David,
I got no middle name. Just David Gross. That's all it is.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
We'll get into that.
This is huge for us.
Continue.
We'll talk about it in a second.
We'll get into that.
So we've got some skills also. You've talked to us a few times, so you know how skillful we are just in our everyday lives. But I just want to throw out some quick facts. I just want you to know I took 3rd place in the 2nd grade macaroni art competition. So therefore I'm a creative genius. 3rd place is not bad. There's some pretty highly skilled macaroni art makers in my 2nd grade class. Just wanted
So
to know
I was
that.
looking at that, Vic. And I can't understand how you only took 3rd. To me, there must have been some bias by the teachers in that one because yours was outstanding.
I 100% agree. I took it to the board. I took it to the honor court and everything. I tried to appeal, and they sided with the teacher. I think there's some corruption going on there.
Now, obviously, the other half of that says, we consider ourselves mentally superior than others as we answer questions from Yahoo Answers each week. We do a segment, David, called You Ask, We Answer, and we take questions from what Victor continuously, what do you call it, Victor?
I call Yahoo Answers the epitome of knowledge.
Okay.
And so we got a question last week, and maybe you want to answer it. I don't know. They should put Tom Brady on Mount Rushmore instead of Obama, that libtard. That was one of our questions. So they think that Obama's going on Mount Rushmore, and it should be Tom Brady instead.
Well, personally, I think Tom Brady deserves his own place, not to be put up there with anyone else.
Wow.
So I think he should have his own mountain and his face carved into it, and I think that's the only thing appropriate for what he's been able to do in his NFL career.
We'll work on that. We'll bow out. Us three, will bow out a mountain, and we'll carve his face into it.
I like it. And then finally, our skills. Another example of creativity. I wrote a song, David.
But you didn't send me the audio of the song. So, Alex, I feel like if the song's good, bad, or indifferent. That's the only song. The macaroni I can look at. That makes sense. I can see that.
David, it's about to make a whole lot more sense why we're so curious about your middle name, because you're about to get a live performance of a song I made a song from Victor's perspective. Here we go. Ooh, I'm so nervous, Vic. Here we go. My name is Victor Hensley, how do you do? I'm walking home and the streets are blue. I'm a Tar Heel for life and I couldn't be prouder. My least favorite food is Boston clam chowder. I hate Boston so and all their teams. If I had 4 words, they'd be F-word you, Tom Brady. I hate the Pats and I hate Tom Brady. I hate the Pats and I hate Tom Brady. Hate the Pats and I hate Tom Brady. I hate the Pats and I hate Tom Brady. I love one thing from Boston, though. He's the commissioner of my show. Love one thing from Boston, though, and his name is David Allen Gross. How was it?
Oh, well, I don't like the content of the song where you talk about Victor hating Tom Brady, because I'm sure deep down Victor loves Tom Brady.
Oh, he's my favorite.
Really deep down. Really deep.
Really deep.
But besides that, it's definitely good. You know, obviously as a performer, you got to avoid laughing while you're singing at the same time. But
Oh, boy, yeah.
it's got potential.
It's got, yeah. I have a studio version out there. I just wanted to give you the live performance. Victor insisted that he had to give me a little background music, so that was in my headphones. Blame him.
See,
Okay.
here's the thing.
That's why we were curious. No, go ahead.
So Alex, he wrote this song, right, off the cuff, and this was like a couple months ago, and so he played it for me one day. I didn't understand half of it. Half of it didn't make sense. I don't know why I'm walking home and the streets are blue. I don't get what that means. I'm not that creative. And then he said he loves one thing from Boston, though, and his name is David Allen Gross. And I was like, Alex, you can't put that out there because we don't know if his middle name is Allen. So I guess since you don't have a middle name, we're just going to make your middle name Allen. We're going to legally change your middle name.
My son said it should be Oscar so I could be dog.
Oh!
I like that.
I had a fish named Oscar once. He died. Anyway, on to
Wow.
our final slide. Final thoughts. We would be the best replacement of all time. We know little to nothing about lacrosse other than it is fast and fun to watch. But I'm sure we could run the league very smoothly. Any questions, David?
Well, I'll tell you, if we hadn't already gone and hired somebody, I would be making the biggest push for the two of you guys to come in. You have to move to Boston. And,
we talked about this last time.
Yeah,
Can't do it.
That might be a deal breaker for me. I'm gonna have to do a work from home kind of thing.
Get through. Right. Yeah, you kind of have to live in Boston. Was the one issue. So.
Well, do you know when the new commissioner is going to retire? So we can go ahead and start making that push for the new spot.
You know, he's got a 3-year contract. So,
we can last that long.
I'm hoping he's going to be around a lot longer than 3 years, but he started with a 3-year deal with us.
So, are we allowed to ask who this is? Can we get a name drop?
You can ask. I can't tell you though. Wait one more week.
All right. We'll get him on. Make his introductory press conference on the bandwagon.
How great would that be?
Sure. I think it'd be awesome. Seeing as I'm not running this show, it'll be great.
We got to figure out Well, yeah, we're going to hire you next week. But anyway, so I guess
Well,
let's.
I assumed when you guys reached out that you were reaching out to make me a permanent third host of this show. That's what I thought was happening.
Ooh.
And then it's just like,
I'm not even against this at all. I'm not against this at all.
Well, I actually I have a big announcement. Alex, I don't think Alex knew I was going to announce this on the show, but I have to do it. So, David, you've been a big part of our show. You were one of our first guests ever on the show. You're the commissioner of this show, or you will be in a week. So, we are formally going to induct you as the first member of the Bandwagon Ring of Honor.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So,
I'm going to put that on my resume. I'm excited about that one.
As you should. So here in the coming weeks, we're going to ask for an induction speech and all that stuff. We'll get on. We'll talk to you about that after the show.
We'll send you a really cheap plaque or something like that. But yeah. Wow. Okay. So I guess impromptu here, David. I mean, it's your final couple days. I need a state of the league address as you leave.
You know what? I think the league's in great shape right now. We've got 9 solid teams. We got a really good commissioner coming in. We got some very committed owners, and we got the best players in the entire world in Major League Lacrosse. I think you're going to see some great things, popping up with the league over the next few years, and it's going to be an exciting time for fans and new fans, to be involved in this league.
So obviously you're not going to be the commissioner, here in a couple of days. But if there's one thing that the MLL is going to try to do over the next couple of years, do you know what that might be? What's some of the big goals for the MLL?
Add more teams. It's so hard for players to get on the field. There's so much talent with only 9 teams. So I definitely think one of the focuses is going to be to expand, bring in some new ownership groups, spread our footprint, out a little more across the country. And, I know that there's some really quality individuals that have expressed interest in a team. So I think that'll be a major boost for the sport.
So 2 questions. First off, what are the cities that you might be, considering for an expansion team? Or expansion teams?
Well, yeah, so, I mean, we don't hide the cities that we've been looking at. It's where we go and play exhibition games. So, Houston's a market that we're very interested in. And then, West Coast, Southern Cal, Northern California, Seattle, Portland, all those markets are on the radar.
And the second part to that question is, so we can't be the commissioners of the Bandwagon, or of the MLL. Can we own a team?
Oh.
Me and Alex.
If you got deep enough pockets, of course you can. But, again, you guys live in 2 different cities. You got to pick a city you both
2 different states.
Well, we'll meet in the middle. What's in the middle of North Carolina and Wisconsin? Indiana?
India, Ohio, Kentucky?
Kentucky. Frankfurt.
Oh.
Put one in Frankfurt. I'm down.
Funded by the MLL, huh?
How does how deep do our pockets have to be? What are we talking here, David?
Can you ask that?
There's nothing I can say really on the air, but listen, anyone buying into sports, you've got to be able to weather the storm of building your organization. So it's got to be money that you can afford to lose in life. I'd say that almost any investment that someone makes, if you can't afford to lose it, don't make the investment. So it's not cheap, but down the road, I think these teams are going to be worth a heck of a lot of money.
Victor, if I'm not mistaken, you were quoted as saying, like a couple weeks ago on this exact show, that if somebody fined you $5, you couldn't pay it.
That's very true.
Right.
So I don't know if investing in a team is in your future. Hey, David, so another reason we brought you on today is to talk, obviously, you're a big Patriots guy. We got to ask. I mean, they did it again somehow, and we're super happy about it over here, as you can tell by the tone of my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talk to me, man. How you feeling going into Super Bowl Sunday here?
Couldn't be more excited. I just think, whether you're a Patriot fan or you're a Patriot hater, as some people I'm speaking to now might be, you've got to just, it's mind-boggling in this era of the salary cap and free agency that a team can be this good for this long of a run. And, every year I'm expecting, the bottom to fall out, and they just keep doing it, and it's incredible that they've been on a run like this. And you just got to respect that someone's been able to pull something like this off, whether you like the team or not. And they've just been so much fun to watch over the years. And, great job by the coaching staff, ownership, and obviously all the players.
And we talked to former Steelers running back Jonathan Dwyer last week and asked him the same question. So as a fellow Bostonian, you're big in the sports market there in Boston. So do you know, has Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, anybody reached out to you to tell you what their big secret is for their success? Because we're all wondering over here.
Absolutely not. I don't think they would waste their time speaking to me. They've got more important things to do. It's funny. I think one of the things, people think about, Belichick, and, he's been to plenty of Cannons games. He's a big lacrosse fan. When he's there, he's just there supporting, the team and the league. But what I've heard about him is he's just so incredibly thorough. And, that they make sure the team is prepared for any and all situations, that they're going to face. And, it's paid off. The players have definitely bought into what him and his coaches have been preaching. And, again, it's just, I remember growing up, Pats were not a strong team. And, most of the games weren't on TV, the home games, because they were blacked out. The stadium didn't sell out. And, ever since really, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Drew Bledsoe and Bill Parcells, because when they both came, they really brought a lot of credibility to the organization. And, we went from Parcells to Pete Carroll's coach and then to Bill Belichick. So not a bad swing of coaches since 1994 to 2018.
Yeah, no lie about that. David, I got to ask, let's get right to it. I imagine it's going to be who I think it's going to be, but who you got in this one? Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I said pulling for the Patriots, to win the game. I think they'll win the game, but the one thing I've seen in all their Super Bowl games, it's going to be a nail-biter. They haven't won or lost any of them. You got to go all the way back to the Bears in Super Bowl 20, where they got blown out. Everything else is going to be close, and I think it's a great game, and I don't think anyone's taken the Eagles lightly. I think they're, to make it to the Super Bowl, you got to be darn good. And I, think the Eagles have a really talented team. And, I tip my cap to Nick Foles. Here was a guy who was cast away by the Rams, coming in his backup, and to guide his team to the Super Bowl after Wentz went down. That's no small feat, and you really got to give a guy like that credit. It's a great story.
All right, David. You think you think the Pats are going to win? I don't agree with that. I don't like it. It bothers me. That's okay. I understand. If you had one key to the game for the Pats to win this thing, what would it be?
You just got to keep the pressure off Brady. If you give Brady time, he'll carve any defense up. But if Philadelphia's front can get to him, then that causes trouble. So to me, that's the biggest key to the game, keeping Brady clean.
Okay, I respect it. I just, for me, and I know for Alex too, it just pisses me off that the Pats are so consistent. I understand.
Oh my God!
You went through a ton as a child, with them not being good, but now it's just come on, man. Something's got to give.
You went through a ton as a child. That's what. Oh my.
Yeah, no, listen, I get it. I hated the Cowboys when I was a kid because they were always, so good. And then the 49ers. So I get why people don't like the Patriots. It's, you want new blood in there winning. It makes sense. I'm just, as a fan, I'm just enjoying this ride as long as it happens because nothing lasts forever with this stuff. And at some point, they're not going to be able to keep this kind of consistency up. So just enjoy it and enjoy the ride. And for those that don't enjoy it, well, at some point it's going to be over.
Yeah, I don't know, man. With how it's gone the last, a dozen years, I don't know if it'll be over anytime soon. But, no, you got to respect the greatness, but it's just annoying. But
I hear you.
David, this is the last time we get to ask you this as an acting professional sports commissioner. So, as you're aware, we've asked you questions like this before. We like two things on the show: confident answers and starting rivalries. So, are you the best commissioner in professional sports?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
who is?
David.
Who's the best commissioner? Jeez, I think you got to look at Adam Silver and the job that he's done picking up the mantle from David Stern and where the NBA is right now. I think there's so much potential, not just nationally but internationally with the NBA. And I think you got to really point the finger and give him credit.
And okay, so you mentioned Adam Silver. And, there's a whole gambling thing going on in the NBA, right? So trying to make gambling legal for NBA, and they want some of the profits from gambling, all that stuff. Have you ever had to deal with that as the commissioner of the MLL?
No, I wish we did. And I say this in all seriousness. If people were gambling on MLL games, we'd be a more popular sport.
Sure.
I think, when people talk in the past about, gambling and this and that, it creates interest, and any league cares about interest, and I'm glad that the NBA is embracing. Hey, gambling's here. It's part of what our society does. It's part of what the world does. And if people are going to be making money off their games by gambling, they want a little cut. I don't see anything wrong with that.
So what is this is one of my last final questions. So last final, that didn't make grammatical sense. That's all right. So, what is one way to stir up interest in the MLL? Because I know you've done a great job at that as commissioner. So, with the new commissioner coming in, aside from expanding teams, what's one way that you guys could really try to drum up interest in the sport?
I think we've really got to focus on our players, tell their stories, show them without their helmets. Get people to know who they are. You look at the Olympics. I don't know about you guys. I don't follow any of these Olympic sports, for 3 years and 50 weeks, and then for 2 weeks you're glued to the channel. And part of the reason is because NBC and before them ABC did such a masterful job of telling stories and making you care about these athletes. We've got incredible athletes in the MLL. We need to do a better job of telling their stories and showing people who these guys are. I think if fans really understood what it takes to be in this league and the character of these guys, I think people would be more apt to be a fan of the league and get excited. So, and there's tools, social media, there are tools to really drive this stuff now that it's not expensive to do. And I think the league and the individual teams really need to focus on that to really spur growth in the league.
And David, I want to bring up, obviously, you guys have done television stuff with ESPN, ESPNU. Last year, I think it was Twitter. Are you guys still going to be showing games on Twitter and creating some interest, social media that way?
We're going to be on a streaming platform for some games. Which one? It's premature to say. Okay. We had a great relationship with Twitter last year, and it's led to a lot of interest from some other platforms to potentially have some games. But we'll try and get those decisions made, in the next month or so fans know where to go when the season hits in April.
Well, David, all I've got to say is, you're not going to be the commissioner for too much longer. We talked about this the first time we interviewed you. When you finally get out of that seat and you become the commissioner of the Bandwagon, at that point you can tell us all of the commissioner secrets. You can tell us everything you couldn't tell us. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I'm super excited.
We're gonna write a book, and we're gonna write the foreword.
Oh, please.
Sounds good.
All right, awesome.
Just keep some of Vic's grammatical errors out of it. No, it's all good.
Oh,
yeah, that's all. That's all on the North Carolina end. Well, the MLL season kicks off on April 21st from Charlotte. Victor, the first game of the year is in Charlotte. When Boston visits Charlotte, a whole bunch of games that whole weekend. Soon to be former MLL Commissioner for the last time as the current commissioner on the Bandwagon, David Gross. David, thank you as always, my friend. Always a pleasure, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys. Take care and go Pats.
Go Eagles. Let's go.
All right, bye, guys.
All right, David.
We are back. Thanks again to David Gross, the Bandwagon Commissioner, for joining us for quite I don't even know what just happened.
I'll tell you what happened. It was one of the greatest interviews ever, I think. Go down in history. I mean, think about all that happened at that interview, Alex. We talked about lacrosse. We talked about the future of the MLL. We showed him a PowerPoint of why we should be the co-commissioners of the MLL. He admitted he almost considered us for co-commissioners of the MLL. We talked about owning a potential MLL team in the future. He announced that he's no longer going to be the commissioner in 2 days. Like that, and that's just all I can remember off the top of my head. You sang a song. I talked about macaroni art. I mean, Michael Petrus was the best interview ever, but this might be a very, very.
Come on, and we inducted him into the Hall of Fame, the Ring of Honor.
Oh, the Ring of Honor. Well, we haven't inducted him yet. The ceremony's coming later. We got to send him a plaque. Get his speech, his official acceptance speech into the Ring of Honor. It'll be a whole like John Gruden type night, like they had in Tampa Bay. It's gonna be the same type of thing.
I just want to throw this out there. I think we just came up with the next best idea. We're gonna have an award ceremony after every year in May.
Oh, can we call them the Bandies?
The Bandies.
Wow,
you got it. Good job.
We did it. You know what else is one of the best things ever though?
What's that?
If we had to induct one segment into the Bandwagon Ring of Honor, you know which one that one would be, right?
Squeeze the jibs.
That's not clip, segment.
Oh, sorry, I screwed that one up. That would have been a very smooth transition, Victor. I'm sorry.
It would have been, but you always have to, cut my knob.
Cut your butter with my knife. Let's go with you ask, we answer.
You're right. You ask, we answer. So if you don't know what you ask, we answer is, it's when we go to the epitome of knowledge, aka Yahoo Answers, and we decide what questions we want to answer. Because Alex, if you didn't know, I mean you do know because you're intellectually way up top,
superior,
just like me.
Yes.
We're intellectually. We talked about it in the David Gross interview. Actually, we're mentally superior to everyone else, intellectually superior, everything. We're better than you guys. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. So we decided to go and answer your questions that you put on Yahoo Answers. Go in there and give you guys some facts, spit some knowledge. So that's what we're here to do. You ready, Alex?
I'm ready, Victor.
As you should be, because I know for a fact we've got some disturbed humans on this show today.
Oh boy.
We'll talk about it. Number one, could we solve world hunger by feeding everybody? Everybody?
So. This person just wants to feed everybody.
What, Alex? Correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure if someone's hungry, and you feed them, they're not hungry anymore.
Right.
Correct. So in this case, if you feed everyone in the world, nobody can be hungry. Therefore, world hunger is gone. Correct.
You're absolutely correct.
Okay. I'm just thinking. Just yeah. Number two, this is a good one. This is a long one, so bear with me. My mom just got mad at me, and I don't understand. So our dryer is broken. The washing machine still works. I asked my mom if it was okay to still use the washer to wash my coat. I air dry my coat anyways, as the tag says to do that.
Okay. So
my mom first was in a good mood, and then told me, as long as you do not need to put it in the dryer. She paused for 1 minute, and then said nasty to me, I hurt. I was just about to take a bath. Why did she go from not being mad to ended up nicking mad? I just asked a question. I even said that I would wash it after her bath, but she got more mad, saying, just go wash your coat. It's the only coat I have right now, and it looks stained, and you can see the black dirt on it. It's a red North Face coat. I didn't mind washing it after her bath. She just got mad after being nice to me. Sad face?
Sad face? Okay. So we've got a real predicament here. So I imagine it's long gone. Like, this is well done with. But
I don't know.
I would just like to say your mother seems a little bipolar. I've just diagnosed her.
Potentially.
But she's sore, so maybe that's
right.
It's just the cramps kicking in.
Okay, whoa. Are you about to say something problematic there for a second?
No, maybe she said she's sore. Doesn't that involve cramps usually? Would you get cramps when you're sore?
It doesn't have to. You could be sore. When you get sore,
I get cramps.
What does that mean?
I have a cramp in my right arm right now.
You don't. Don't act like you're playing injured.
I do, right?
Don't act like. Don't be a hero, Alex. Don't act like a warrior. Just be quiet.
I'm not a warrior.
In this situation,
Kevin Durant is a warrior.
He is a snaky SOB. That was really random. Anyway, so her mom is sore. Her mom is hurt. Yeah. She's got to take a bath. You know, yes, the only way to relieve the pain. You know, if you work out for a little bit, I wouldn't know because I don't do physical activity. But when your triceps and stuff hurt, you know, you just got to get that warm, you know, get that loose, like, you know, warm bath. Oh, you know, you can feel it right now when you think about it.
I can feel the bath.
Right. So she just needs to get in the bath. And apparently they can't take a bath and wash clothes at the same time. Apparently in this household, I think I can. Anyway, that's beside the point. Your coach's not that important. It's all right, girl. She's not mad. She just is hurting right now, and you need to be respectful. Essentially, is all it is.
So I have a couple questions to follow up with that. Number one, have you ever heard the rumor that if you flush the toilet, the water in the shower automatically becomes way warmer?
It's not a rumor. It's facts.
So you've tested this?
Currently in my dorm room, if you flush one of the toilets, the shower gets really hot.
Ah.
I mean, it depends on where you live and what kind of system it is. But yeah, mine's like that. It's not a rumor. It's not a myth. It's facts.
Oh yeah, I've tested it and it hasn't worked for me before.
Well, it depends on the system, man. I'm not a plumber.
Fair enough. My second question is, you know, bath bombs are like those big round soap things you drop in the bath and then they like expand. Have you ever used one or seen one in action?
Can't say that I have, Alex. Can't say that I have.
I'm really intrigued because, like, you know, basic white girls will post those on their story every freaking day. So I'm curious as to what they do and what makes them so special.
I'm gonna interject. What's up with the people that like will post like the really artistic pictures of them in the bathtub, you know, and like show their feet? Like it'll be one of their knees, and it'll be their feet at the end of the bathtub.
I'll make the post for all of you on YouTube. Yeah, but like, you know, it's like you take the picture from right here. Yeah, you got it. That's a good post.
And always, and sometimes it just doesn't even say anything with it, or it's just like a heart or something like that. It's
or
like
relax.
I don't care.
So done with today.
Yeah, it's right to come home to this after a long, hard day at work.
Yes.
It's like you literally don't do anything all day. What are you talking about?
Anyway.
All right. Anyway,
Next.
I'm sorry to go on a little tangent. It's not even a soapbox day, but
jeez.
Next. Should I let my 15-year-old... Okay, I'm going to start that over. Should I let my 15-year-old be a baby again?
What?
My daughter babysat a few babies and decided it would be fun to be one. She's already bought baby bottles and food.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay. No, you need to bring your daughter to a mental hospital.
What? Why?
First off, baby food is awful. It tastes so
that
bad.
How do you know that, though?
Because we've all had to eat it. And you know, when you have,
okay.
I have cousins that are littler than me, is that a word?
Not a word.
Like by 10 years, so, you know, 10 years ago when they were babies, I would always take like maybe a little bite of theirs just to see what it tasted like. And
so you're saying, okay,
but I wasn't 15.
We're finding something, okay.
I was, what would I be 10 years? I would be 9.
I'm just saying, dude, you just admitted to eating baby food when you're not a baby, but you're trying to judge this person saying they should be thrown into a mental institution. Yeah, you done got.
I ate some jerky. It was chicken jerky the other day, and it tasted like dog food. Legitimate dog food. Have you ever eaten dog food?
No, why would I eat dog food?
You've never lived, man.
Dude, what? I'm not gonna eat. Am I a baby?
You were at one point, buddy.
Am I a baby now? No. Am I a dog? Am I a cat? No, none of it. None of it. I'm not gonna eat this stuff, man. I eat people food. I just eat food. Dang.
Move on.
Next. Should I call my son Walter?
That's it.
Here's the thing. Two things. Does this mean should they name their son Walter?
Right, that's what I'm getting out of it. But like, I feel.
Or does that mean that like they have a son named Walter and they haven't talked in a while, and it's like, well, should I call him?
Oh, should I call my? Oh, well, I was thinking third. Maybe it was just like a past relative that died recently, maybe, and they're just gonna start calling him Walter for no reason at all. Like,
like he's like 6 years old, and they're just like, I'm gonna start calling him Walter. His name's like Blake.
Like, you know when you adopt a dog from the humane shelter or humane society, and they have a name, but then you change their name like a year into their life. Did that with Abby. She used to be Breezy.
Breezy?
Shout out to Abby.
Hashtag Abby's friend. I don't know what any of that meant. Woo! All right.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can call him Walter, or you should call him if you haven't spoken in a while.
Yeah, you should see how he's doing.
Based on the punctuation, I think it's the fact that like should they name their son Walter, but I don't. Who knows? Next up, this is it. This is one of the people that needs our help. This is for real. This is legit. This is advice. All right. Why won't my fiance get my name tattooed on him? But he.
You're struggling, man. David Gross wasn't lying when he said your grammatical errors.
Why won't my fiance get my name tattooed on him? But he got his ex-wife's name tattooed on him when they were engaged.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Trouble in paradise.
It's just confusing to why he was so open to her name being on his body, but not mine.
See, here's my advice. Now, this man learned the golden rule, and he learned it the hard way, and now he's got himself in a predicament. You never get a woman's name tattooed on you. Everyone knows this, or should know this.
That's like number one in the rule book.
Exactly. That's in the rule book. You never get a woman, or even if you're a woman and you get a man, or if you're a woman and you get a woman, or if you're a man and you get a man. You never get your significant other's name tattooed on you in case something happens.
Unless they die.
Right. Then it's okay because, they died in good terms, I hope.
And you can put like Tabitha on your fore, or no, your bicep or tricep, whichever.
You don't work out. You don't know.
Neither do you, skinny legs.
Throw back the last episode. But seriously, this is a bad situation.
Okay.
But I don't understand why he can't just explain to her, like, I did it once, I'm not doing it again. And what if she's like, well, why don't you just get that one or get mine over hers? Like, this is a situation we can't solve, Vic. This is a bad one.
I don't think so either, because the thing is, he could have already said to her, listen, I just don't want to do that again. Like, I already did it once. I can't be having just women all over my body.
But what?
Like, women's names.
But then she comes back with, okay, so you want to keep Tabitha on your chest? You're just
right,
going to keep Tabitha on your chest?
Exactly. That's the problem. Is it he might be just completely honest, like, yo, babe, I don't want to do this, man. I already have one name tattooed on me. What if you break up with me, like you probably will one day? And like, then the next girl is gonna be like, why do you have two girls' names tattooed on it? It's just a cycle that's not gonna end.
Oh, wow.
So she needs to understand that, like, he just doesn't want to do that, man. He can't be filling up his body. Have you seen that rapper 6ix9ine? Have you seen that dude before?
I have not.
He's a terrible rapper, awful. He's just got 69 tattooed all over his body.
Oh, good for him.
That's exactly how this dude's gonna be with all his women eventually. If they all get worked up about it. Like, Tabitha was supposed to be his one and only. It obviously didn't work out. Move on. Now he's in love with you. He loves you, honey, whatever your name is, and it's all right.
Lindsay.
Yeah, whatever. Wendy. Bethany. Anyway, I think we fixed that situation. Katrina. Fantasia.
Hillary.
Duff.
Oh.
Wow. All right. Next up. This is another long one. What does it mean when someone says something followed by end of story? For example, like, the answer is no. End of story. I contacted a guy on Craigslist who had a car for sale that I was very interested in. So I so happened to have contacted him less than an hour after he submitted the ad about the car he was selling. So he gives me a call a day later and says, "Hi, I'm just returning your call. The car I had on Craigslist was just sold." And I slightly screamed at him asking, "When did they contact you?" And he was like, "I already sold it. End of story." Then hangs up. What exactly does end of story mean in a scenario like this?
It means the car is sold.
The
I don't understand what's so hard to understand about this.
The thing is, it's like this. Like, why are you telling us this whole story? Like, you think we're supposed to be like giving you advice on the situation, but there's like, what does he mean by end of story? Like, it's obvious the car is sold. Like, deal with it. It's done. It's over. You lost. Take the L. Never lost.
Never
But
lost.
you did.
Never lost.
But you did. You take the L and move on. Make yourself look stupid. What's the person's name? I don't know. It doesn't tell me. But it's sad, man.
Doesn't tell you.
End of story.
End of story. On to
Move
the next
on.
one.
End of story. If these chicks are
I like where this is headed.
This is a good one. if these chicks are all over me, am I probably pretty handsome? Or are they just being nice?
He's gorgeous. You know
You
he's
gotta be
gorgeous.
handsome.
You know he is hands down a beautiful man. And he's just trying to sound not cocky right now.
Probably. That's probably it. I was thinking along the lines of like, okay, he's got to be handsome because he's not much of anything else if he's going to Yahoo Answers for things like this. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So he's got to have good looks. Hey, that's all it is. Because once the ladies find out what he's really like, they're like, got to kick this one to the curb.
That's a really good point.
That's what I'm saying. I think you're pretty handsome. That's all. You're probably not very bright or fun, but you're pretty handsome. So I guess that's a win.
Good for him. Congrats, man.
Last one. Here's another advice one.
Oh, boy.
I really like my coworker. She's amazing, cute, friendly, nice, and probably single. How can I profess my love without jeopardizing my job?
Shoot your shot, player.
Shoot your shot, player. You just got to go for it. Take it to the head, man. Just,
He's going for the throat. It's from 2K. Kevin Harlan says it. I don't know why I just yelled that.
I don't know. That was really fun, though. It's like, you got to go do it, man. Why not? Life is too short for you to be, like, sitting here worrying about, I might get fired, might not be able to eat tomorrow. Like I might lose my home. You know what? Your love is way more important than eating or having shelter or heat. You got to shoot your shot. Chef Curry with the pop, boy. Yeah. Bow, bow. Yeah.
Always shoot your shot, man. Always
Kobe
shoot your
that.
shot.
Kobe that biatch.
Kobe that biatch. Let's move on. Let's suggest some things.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Let's do it.
I'll go first.
You going first?
I'll go first.
You used to go first. Mine's a bombshell. I told you that, man. Everybody be ready for this hot take I'm about to spit.
Oh,
you
boy.
go, though. You go.
So, Jesus, my mic stand just fell off. Suggestion circle, tape it up, or not tape it up, screw it up better. So I'm just going to hold the mic, I guess, apparently. So,
a good
hi,
idea.
I'm Alex, and I just dropped my mic stand. I'm sorry. Hectic. Pandemonium hitting the bandwagon. My name's Alex, Strofe live on the scene. It's time for Suggestion Circle. The thing
You look like a legit reporter right now.
The thing I'm going to suggest is give this man an award. So
David
a
Gross?
video surfaced on Monday afternoon of a man wearing a sweatsuit. Right, he was wearing some sweatpants and a New Orleans Pelicans hoodie. He was sitting courtside at the New Orleans Pelicans game on Sunday night, and he put his hood up, pulled it really tight so you couldn't really see his face, and then ran to the corner on the court, like the corner three during warm-ups. And he was just like kind of stretching like a player would, kind of like a fast-paced stretch. And he started clapping for the ball, got the ball thrown to him, took a shot, and that's when our officer realized that wasn't Anthony Davis. That was just some random fan sitting courtside. So the cop went and grabbed him, sat him down courtside, and gave him one good scolding. And it was pretty awesome. You know, this dude snuck onto the court, looked like a player, got the ball passed to him by likely a teammate, and then shot a shot during warm-ups, and then got scolding by a cop. So my suggestion circle is get this man an award.
I mean, they need somebody to replace Boogie Cousins. So why not to get that guy? I like it. I enjoyed that video when I saw it. The dude was he just walked up on the court and he was just chilling, and just he's putting in that work. Those stretches were looking nice though. The thing is, he looked like he was like a foot shorter than everybody else. So
That's
how
how
he got.
That's how he got caught.
Yeah, I would assume. All right. So I told you this is going to be a bombshell suggestion circle, right?
I like it.
The NBA has been a big topic as of late. We talked about it a lot on this show already. Talked about Blake Griffin. You talked about whatever we just talked about, the Pelicans fan shooting shots and whatnot. Talked about Chef Curry with the pot boy. Look at you, proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So I just got bigger news though. We talked about the Blake Griffin trade. That's a big deal, right? That's the biggest trade of the season thus far. Huge trade. Huge. The trade deadline's coming up, though, sometime in February. Alex, there's one team right now that's struggling pretty badly. Something's going on. right?
Who is it?
Who do you think it is?
A few of them, actually.
There's a team in the Eastern Conference that's just not doing so hot.
How about your Orlando Magic for 500,
they
Alex
just,
Trebek?
They just suck. I'm talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, Alex.
Okay,
The Cleveland Cavaliers. They're terrible right now. They're not playing well. Isaiah Thomas looks terrible. Isaiah Thomas looks like a terrible teammate. Everybody's talking about how bad he is in the locker room and stuff all of a sudden. Kevin Love's getting bullied constantly. Did you see Kevin Love throw that towel at Jeff Green? I saw it. There's turmoil in Cleveland, Alex. Turmoil. Chaos, pandemonium, like you mentioned just a minute ago. It's crazy what's going on in Cleveland. But, like, what should they do about it, Alex? Should they just
You tell me, Vic. What should I do about it?
should they just
buddy? I know
ride
you
it
got
out?
something to suggest.
Should you just ride it out until the end and just hope they maybe can beat Boston in the ECF? Should they just ride it out and see if they can even get past the first round at this point?
Oh.
No. No. My suggestion for today's show is that the Cleveland Cavaliers should make a bold move. Scrap this season, the season's over, and trade LeBron James. Trade the king of the National Basketball Association. And here's why, Alex. I got reasons. LeBron's gone after this year. You're right. I mean, he's probably gone after this season.
Potentially. See,
Very likely.
It really depends on some other things that happen in the offseason. I think he probably stays, but I don't know.
He looks like he's probably not going to stay. Why would you? I mean, Cleveland looks like a terrible place to be at this point. I wouldn't stay. LeBron's probably going to leave at the end of this year. And what are the Cavs going to get for him if he leaves? Nothing.
JS. Jack shit.
Right. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Not a darn thing. But what if they trade him? Alex, what if they trade him? They can get some draft picks out of that. They can get something back. Trade him to a contender. Trade him to Houston. Trade him to Golden State if you want to. Trade him to San Antonio if you want to. Trade him to Milwaukee. Wherever you want to trade him, just get him out of here. Get the best package you possibly can for LeBron James. He's going after this year anyway. This season is essentially at this point probably not going to go anywhere. Boston's probably going to win the Eastern Conference, at least with the way things are looking right now. People say they want Cleveland to go after DeAndre Jordan. They want to trade the Brooklyn Nets' potential #1 pick for next year. Yep. Throw it away to get DeAndre Jordan. For what? For them to potentially win it all this year, and then people are still going to leave after this year? Why? If I am a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, as much as I love LeBron James, I need to understand this season's probably over. Maybe not 100%. You got a chance, obviously, but it's not looking good. Scrap the season, play for the future, get rid of LeBron James, get some draft picks, get some young dudes in here, get some Avery Bradley type guys in here, some dudes that want to be here. I mean, Avery Bradley's not young, but I mean, he's a great player. Get some dudes in here that'll come out here, come play, potentially build around a guy like Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Love, whatever. But do whatever you can to play for the future so that after this season, the future's not done when LeBron James leaves and you're left with just the rubble. That's all I'm saying. So my suggestion is Cleveland Cavaliers, trade LeBron James. It makes sense in my head, and it should make sense in y'all's head. It may sound silly, because who would ever trade the king? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, all I have to say is there's a reason you're not an NBA GM, because that was the most idiotic thing you may have ever said in the history of the show.
I mean, I don't know how it's so idiotic. I mean, if I'm a Cleveland fan, I'd kind of be in support of it. I mean, I'd much rather be playing for the future so we're not sucking for the next 10 years when LeBron leaves than to, potentially, maybe, probably not win a title this one year. I'm just saying.
Silly boy.
Whatever.
Yeah, your punishment for that, you get to go first for Bandwagon.
That's fine. I wanted to. So, switching gears to a different sport. You know what? I've never in my life have I supported Tom Brady. I don't like the guy. I don't like the way, he's buddy-buddy with officials. I don't like the way he acts. I don't like his demeanor or any of it. I don't like it. Everybody knows that. I don't like the Patriots. Can't stand him. But there's something he did this past week that I can latch on to. I can support it. So, Alex, I don't know if you heard this, but WEEI in Boston,
yep,
they do some questionable things sometimes. And I want to play this clip real quick. I want you to hear this clip, and I'll tell you what happened with Tom Brady after this clip. But this is a weird thing. To give you a little context, they're talking about a documentary. I think it was like the episode 1 of some documentary called Tom versus Tom. Okay, so here's what they're talking about. Is when this 30-second clip, the 30-second clip begins. Okay, couple things there. First off, the dude was real weird and said Patriots porn. That's what they called the documentary. That was really weird. Second of all, they called Tom Brady's child an annoying little pissant. Don't think you can do that about someone's 5-year-old daughter. I don't think that's not going to go over well. So Tom Brady had an interview with them. I think Monday. I think it might have been Monday. And he cut it short. He heard about what they did, what they said. He didn't like that at all. He cut the interview short. He was like, "Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let you talk about my kid like that." So I'm jumping on the bandwagon of sticking up for your young. Let's go, Tommy. I'm glad you finally showed some kahunas, or whatever they call them.
Ooh.
Yeah, you finally grew a pair, and you're sticking up for your little girl. Because those creeps on that thing, they can call you girl like that. I didn't even know Tom Brady had a daughter, but now I do. And I'm supporting the fact that he's protecting her. I'm jumping on the bandwagon of protecting your young.
Half the words they'd be, I love Tom Brady.
Did that work there? I don't think that worked there.
I love the Pats and I love Tom Brady.
No.
I love the Pats and
Nope.
I love Tom Brady.
Nope.
That's your new song.
It's not my new song at all. No, I'm not too fond of it.
Just a minor change to the song we played earlier with David Gross. Hey,
Minor.
yeah. So I'm going to jump on the bandwagon of self-hygiene. Staying in the topic of viral videos, there was a video that really blew my mind Sunday night. And I laughed so hard, I cried. And that doesn't happen with viral videos much. This one really got to me. It was a video of a rat, like a full-blown rat the size of my foot, washing itself in a shower with shampoo. Itself, like rubbing shampoo all over its own fur and its back in a shower. It was like a full-blown rat, like a thing the size of my foot was rubbing shampoo all over its body, and it was clean. Like, it would probably smell delicious. It was probably a cute little rat, which is weird because rats are disgusting, but it cleaned itself. The rat cleaned itself, Victor. I'm jumping on the bandwagon of self-hygiene.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Did you see that video?
I didn't see that video. I feel like you're making it up.
No. Not.
I feel like you're making it up,
It's
but
the best thing I've ever seen.
rats are pretty cute. Did you remember? What was it? That's So Raven. Corey had a rat, didn't he?
I never watched that show.
That's sad. You haven't lived, sir. Oh, you talking about me having not lived? You haven't lived. He had a pet rat, and it was beautiful. Beautiful creature. Thanks. You are too, cutie.
Thank you. Well, that'll do it for the bandwagon. For
As it
Victor
should.
Hensley at Freezeal33, Freezeal33 on Twitter. My name is Alex Strofe at Alex_Strofe on Twitter. You can connect with the show using hashtag BandwagonPod. Thanks again to Zach Davies of the Brewers and MLL Commissioner, soon to be the Bandwagon Commissioner, David Gross, for joining us today on the bandwagon. That's it. We'll talk to you guys on Thursday when Marcus Ogden and maybe somebody else, if you're lucky, joins the show. Yeah.
Toodles, toodaloo.
Toodaloo indeed, Vic. Until next time.
What up, Miss C? It's your boy V Han,
in A-Tobe 2014.
and this is Stone. Let's go. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. One day I was walking down the street. I was really thirsty, so I went to Pete's. I had a big glass of water. Then I had to pee, so I ran all the way home, and I opened up the door. I went straight to the potty. My bladder couldn't hold it anymore. I lifted up the seat, but then I began to pee. It went from the kidneys to the ureters, down to the bladder, where it all mattered. Then through the urethra, where I'll have to release you. Out the urinary meatus, then it exits our penis. Later on that night, I had a pain that I could not fight. I was dizzy and I had to throw up, and my temperature was as high as you know what. I couldn't take it anymore, so I had to go to the doctor. I got checked out. Your boy was about to pass out. Then the doctor came in to give me my diagnosis. Last night I was up until 10, worrying about this prognosis. He said, "Well, Houston, we have a problem." And I said, "Whatever it is, Doc, we're gonna solve it." I'm about to put down this microphone. It was a kidney stone. And we out.